Hello everyone, I'm Blessing Adesiji, a developer advocate here at Circle. If you have gotten to this stage, I must say congratulations. You are only a few concepts away from completing this series and you'll be on your way to integrate our powerful programmable wallet into your application. In this video, we're going to build on what we discussed previously where we created our first transaction. Here we'll review the concept of gas fees, also known as transaction fees, in depth. Let's get to it. Note that this concept is both for developer-controlled wallet and user-controlled wallet. In earlier videos, we worked with a couple of endpoints, those URLs or web addresses that you use to interact with a service. Now let's use another endpoint, which is the estimate fee for a transfer transaction. We're going to use this endpoint to understand the gas fees that we'll pay for a transaction before carrying out this particular transaction. This is useful for you or your users to know how much they will pay for a particular transaction before going ahead to make that transaction. It helps avoid any unpleasant surprises for you or your users after the fact. It also gives the user the flexibility. Apart from setting the gas level to be low, medium, or high, you can give the user a more advanced option of setting their fees following the introduction of the Ethereum Improvement Proposal 1559, which is also the EIP 1559. This proposal improves the transaction fees and how they are calculated. More on that later. In all, the user can set the gas price that they want to send tokens or withdraw tokens, thus saving money on transaction fees. This you can present to the user in a nice looking user interface or help them abstract complexities and help them understand their transaction fees before making any transaction. Let me provide some explanations on gas fees. You already know that I'll always explain any new concept in the simplest form before we build on that. So to start with, let's talk about gas fee, gas price, and gas limit. We're going to do this using a simple analogy of how cars need fuel to operate effectively. So starting with gas fee. Gas fee is like cost of fuel for the car. When users send transactions on the network, they pay a small fee called gas fee. This fee acts as a fuel to compensate validators to validate transactions. It is also worth mentioning that what you're actually paying for here is the computational power needed to process the transaction, which varies according to the complexity of each transaction and the network. Let's talk about gas price. Gas price is the rate at which users are willing to pay for the fuel. It's like the price per liter of fuel at a gas station. This is how much you will pay for 1 liter of fuel. Let's also talk about gas limit. Gas limit is the maximum amount of fuel allocated to a trip, in this case, a transaction. It is similar to the fuel tank capacity of your car. To calculate the gas fee, what you need to do is multiply the gas price by the gas limit, and that will give you the gas fee as shown on the screen. So here we've used the analogy of how fuel works in car. Let's take a look at this example. Let's say you are driving from point A to point B, and that requires you 10 liters of fuel priced at 1 per liter. And this means that all you need to pay is 10 multiplied by 1, which is 10 for fueling the entire trip. So that's how it works. This is similar to setting the gas price at 1 GUI, which is the unit of measurement, to the corresponding ETH or Ethereum, which is the native token that you are going to pay the price on that particular network, which is the Ethereum network. And then, for example, the gas limit could be 21,000, which means that you allocate this amount of ETH shown on the screen for your transactions gas fee. You also need to be aware of gas prices during network congestion. Gas fees are subjective and they depend on the network's current traffic. Shortly, we'll review how to estimate gas fees for each transactions using a demo. And we'll also take a look at how this endpoint works, which is the estimate gas fee for transfer transaction. And if you need to use the contract transaction, they also work similarly, but you have to take note that that might bring higher fee due to complexity that you might face. But before that, you might be curious to know how gas fees are calculated following the introduction of EIP 1559, meaning I'll touch on the concept of base fees, priority fees. Let's talk about that. Gas fees in blockchain transactions consist of two components, which is the base fee and priority fee, which is the tip, and I will explain. The base fee, the protocol sets a minimum fee that is required for a transaction to be valid. This base fee is the reserve price, and that ensures that the transaction meets the minimum payment threshold. Let's talk about priority fees. Users can add a priority fee, which is also called a tip, to incentivize validators to to include their transaction in the next block on the network. This additional fee makes transaction more attractive compared to other people that are trying to get their transaction validated on the network. Paying only the base fee means the transaction is valid, but less likely to be included because it lacks that incentives for validators. The optimal priority fee depends on the network current usage. Higher demand may require higher priority fee, while lower demand allows for a lower priority fee. For example, let's use the Ethereum token for this example. Suppose I want to send you 1 Ethereum with a transfer that requires 21,000 units of gas, and the base fee, for example, could be 10 GUE, which is the unit of measurement. I can add a tip of say 2 GUE, and the total calculation would look like the unit of gas used multiplied by the addition of the base fee and the priority fee. The calculation is as shown on the screen, and that would amount to 252,000 GUE, which can be pronounced as GWE. You can also see the equivalent Ethereum, which is 0.000252 Ethereum. When I make the transfer, I will send this amount that's shown on the screen. That will be deducted from my account. Then the other party, which is you that I'm sending the money to, will receive 1 Ethereum, and the validator will receive a tip of 0.00042 Ethereum. Then the base fee is 0.0021 Ethereum, which is later bond because the base fee is bond. If you need to understand more about the Ethereum 1555 proposal, I suggest you reading more on that, and I'll provide a link in the description for you to read more. Now let's walk through the demo after all this explanation. So I'm sharing my screen now, and this is the console. All we need to go to is the API reference page where we've been making all these test requests. So we're going to walk through how to use that endpoint. So let's go to transaction, and I'll look for the endpoint, estimate fee for a transfer transaction. If you remember in the previous video, we used, when we use create a transfer transaction endpoint, we set the fee level to be either low, medium, or high. And that will be calculated based on the network traffic. But let's use this endpoint to get the estimate, and that will follow all the explanation that I've explained. So let's say I want to send 1 USDC from the wallet that we're working with, one wallet to the other wallet. So I have the destination address. I'm going to share the source address as well. I have the source address already. I'll grab the token ID. The wallet ID is not required, so we can skip it. So let's try it. Let's get estimate. Great. So take a look at this. We have the gas limit, we have the base fee, we have the priority fee, and we have the max fee. Everything follows the explanation that we've explained. And this is the low, this is the medium, and this is the high. Right? So now you understand what you can set. So I'll copy this, and we're going to provide this as part of the data when we are using the create a transfer transaction, rather than setting the level and allowing the network to automatically select the fee for us. We're going to actually impute it, which is what you can present to your user to help them make advanced option of selecting their fee. So let's work with this. Let's work with this, and I'm going to go to the create a transfer side. So the first thing, usually I'm just going to fill the body parameter. You're already familiar with that. So let me do that real quick. So I'm going to skip the fee level, and then I'll put the gas limit. Great. So I have the parameter all filled up. I have the gas limit, I have the gas price, I have the max fee, I have the priority fee, based on the data that we got back from the previous API call. And you can read all this description to understand what is actually going on here. And I have the token ID, I have the wallet ID. So I'll go ahead to initiate the transaction. We're sending 1 USDC. This is the destination address. And then we're sending it from a source address. But I've already indicated the wallet ID. So that will pick up the wallet where the USDC is coming from. So let's initiate the transaction. So notice we got back a successful response with a particular ID and a state, and the state is initiated state, meaning our transaction has been initiated. So let's follow up on this and track it. We're still going to talk about how to validate and track transaction in the next video. But in this video, I'm just going to copy this ID and then we can use get a transaction endpoint to actually track the transaction. So this just requires the ID, which is the transaction ID, and it will retrieve info from a single transaction using that particular ID. We're going to do that and see that the transaction has been confirmed. And we have our details that we imputed, the gas limit, the price, the priority fee, and the max fee. And then everything has been sent to actually create this transaction. So that's how you can give your user the flexibility of actually using this API to determine the price they want to pay for each transaction. So let's try it again and see the state. So the transfer has been completed because we have a couple of states, and we talked about that in the previous video where we explained various states, and this is the final state, which is the complete state, meaning the one USDC we sent from one wallet has been sent to the other wallet. In this video, we reviewed how to use the estimate fee for a transfer transaction endpoint. We use that to estimate gas fee, and then we sent USDC from one wallet to the other wallet using the estimate we got back. You can include this functionality into your application to help your users manage their gas fees. Now you have everything it takes to build with a developer-controlled wallet. In the next section, we reviewed how to validate transactions using the dashboard and also the blockchain explorer. My name is Blessing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.